Hey, welcome back to the channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know who y'all rocking with. Let me know where y'all from. You a fan of Young Dolph, Big Scar, Gucci Man. So let's get right into it, man. So look, Gucci Man would have had more of a presence in Memphis if Yo Gotti, CMG, and Moneybagg Yo didn't try to sign Big30 over Gucci Man. So you got to understand that the reason why Big30 didn't go with Gucci Man at first was because of the fact that Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo were trying to stop it completely, because Big30 and Poohshiesty was cousins. So he was going to go with Gucci Man because Poohshiesty already went with it, and they had all them they did all that stuff together like them last 2 summers. Y'all seen how the Gucci and 30 had that big hit. And then they even pulled up, Gucci pulled up in the Rolls Royce to Big30. They did that whole music video, and he really wanted him to go and sign with 1017. But what happened is Moneybagg Yo and them stopped it, because what you got to understand is that Moneybagg Yo and Yo Gotti were trying to control like everybody out of Memphis, man, because they feel like they would have missed the opportunity if they would have let somebody out their backyard go off to sign with 1017 or someone from Atlanta. And so had that didn't happen, Gucci might have had 30, and then he would have had Shiesty and Big Scar all from Memphis. Then he would have actually been he would have actually been more closely in touch with the Memphis artists more, to where he could have probably pulled them out of Memphis and put them in the mansion in Atlanta. He could have put them in the mansion in Charlotte or somewhere in LA, and had it to where he could have had like a big team around them, people who done already like grew up through with Gucci and know right from wrong, like the same people that helped Gucci put the cup down and lose that lean belly. Because at the end of the day, like Gucci had went through the same exact things that Scar went through, except the fact that it didn't go so far enough for Gucci that it had a fallout or something bad happen, like what we seen happen with Scar in Memphis, like up in there in that parking lot. And everybody was just like, it was a surprise to everyone. They was just standing there spooked out, like didn't even know what to do. So like if it wasn't for, you know, basically the situation where there was like a little bit of friction and static between how who was gonna be the one that was signing what person out of Memphis, like was a lot of Memphis people trying to be with Gucci and trying to go because they seen Gucci kind of like be there, go and like being way more he had way more reach than Gotti and Moneybagg Yo and them did. And like probably still till now, because a lot of people think that Gucci Man is way bigger than Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo, or like if you put them together, because of the fact that look like how he's able to do a lot more like shows, a lot bigger stuff. Like I think his show, like you got to pay him like $300K for a show for Gucci. And so the difference is that now they didn't want a lot of people to go with Gucci, and so Moneybagg Yo and Yo Gotti had to make sure that they made Bread Gang with Zebo and everything, and they look up to you know, like basically anybody who's Big30 looked at Moneybagg Yo like an uncle, and Moneybagg Yo look at Yo Gotti like a father figure or something, and then Yo Gotti look at Zebo like a brother or uncle too. So their whole thing is that they're trying to keep that thing going where Bread Gang and CMG got Big30, and they're trying to keep it from having him go to Gucci. And if he would have went to Gucci, then it would have been Poohshiesty, Big30, and Big Scar all on one 1017, like all on the tracks. They would have all, like, because they all hung out with each other. They all grew up and like went to the same schools together and stuff. So they were more close. But now people all over the place. Then the thing with Shiesty happened, so he couldn't be around to show Big Scar, because if Shiesty was out, he would have been riding around with Big Scar. They would have been out in LA and doing a whole bunch of things with the So Icy Boys in the 1017. They would have been repping 1017 and going out and doing shows and getting all this bread. But then when Shiesty had to sit down for the seasons, that's when Scar was just out with his old friends from the hood and stuff like that. And that's when the situation turned into more like he got more comfortable, he got more relaxed. Like this happened in his own city. And so at the end of the day, it's like eventually they're gonna have to get out of their city and like be a more like be on the move more to, because they got business that's not just happening in Memphis, but they might have business that's happening in LA. They might have business happening in Miami. And so like if they would have hung around Gucci more, he probably would have like showed them how they could have did that more, because that's how Gucci be moving around, is he be going and getting a lot of business done in a lot of places like that. But the thing with Moneybagg Yo and CMG was that they wasn't showing them to do that. They were actually more in control of like saying, you got to go here, you got to go there. And if you're not here or there, then you got to stay in Memphis. And so they was just really trying to have more say on what they can and can't do, as far as like, because they're the ones who they're trying to make everything strict to the point where they're getting a lot of the bread from it. You know, they want to make sure that the people is like where they know where they at all times. And at the end of the day, it's like if they just be staying in the same hood, like you should have got out of there and been doing something where you was like kept yourself busy and not just falling out, getting too comfortable. Because when you get too comfortable and you don't keep yourself busy, that's when people start getting relaxed, and then they could get caught lacking by all sorts of things. Like low key, a lot of people are saying that, hey, he was lacking too much, got too comfortable, hanging out, going and partying, getting way too lit. That's the kind of thing when they should have been on the move, steady doing tours with Gucci. They should have steady been going here and there and talking to Big30. But see, the way it is that because he's 1017 and he in Memphis, he can't really be too much around Big30 and them. He can't be too much around like Yo Gotti, Moneybagg Yo and them ain't really trying to progress as much, because that's Gucci's job basically. And Gucci could have had him put up in his own mansion, or he could have had him like once he got some bread, they could have gave him like a little spot to be in. That way he could be out of the hood or out of the area where it's all these people he hanging around with is doing the same thing, and then they're just sitting there and basically wasting a whole lot of time. It don't like he could have moved to a different hood where he had more family or something like that, or they could have been at a different place. But you got to understand the things that he already was accustomed to doing, the things that people be doing to these days, they be having habits and stuff like that. So it's like everybody always trying to get turned. Like I guarantee you 9 out of 10 people, they love to go out and they be getting cup after cup, drink, shots, pour, whatever it is, that's just how people move around that's how people act these days. But you got to know like you got to basically keep on doing something that you ain't going to be too messed up on. That way you actually be able to make it out of certain situations and anything like that. Like, for example, like even if somebody had pulled up on Big Scarr, like he might have even been not aware of what was going on. So he could have got lacking in that way. You got to be on point. You can't be drowsy. You can't be slow and this and that. Like you got to be on point. A lot of people, they be kind of slow, like where they will react not soon enough and not be paying attention to their surroundings, because a lot of people be loosen up when they get off the Henny, when they get off the Remy. They be acting different than when they not off of that. Like they not knowing where they at. They be forgetting things. People be stumbling, like their balance is off and stuff like that. So a lot of people, when they have too much fun and get too comfortable, they start getting too lit, and then that's when they're not actually prepared for all the things that could happen. You got to be on point, or at least know to hold it enough to when you say, okay, I ain't doing no more after this, because we got to stay on point and everything like that. And so from all that, it's basically if they was more with Gucci and 1017 like every day, instead of being so far in Atlanta or whatever, he should have stayed right next to Gucci the whole time. And so, but the thing is that he already in Memphis and everything, and it's like not a lot of people are trying to help in Memphis when you got Yogotti and CMG right there, because really Big Scarr and them, he's really cool with Dolph and all that side. And so that's why it wasn't no help really, because all the people from Dolph, they trying to basically like Key Glock, Snoop Bands, Big Moochie Grape and all them, they trying to revitalize their whole careers and everything. So they too busy and they pretty much popping out to other spots too. And so it's just Big Scarr alone with his old friends from the hood. And then that's just never a good mix, because he just going back to what he was doing like before he was with Gucci. And so basically at the end of the day, there's a lesson to learn from that. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.